WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you for what's essentially the Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman challenge. That's right, I'm going 10 minutes because we've got high school basketball, Pennsbury and Valley Forge Military, coming up at 12:15. So a bunch of stuff to get into in a very short period of time. As far as news and notes, WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair will be among the special guests at Wing Bowl 25 coming up on February 3rd at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Of course, the famous wing-eating contest that's held 2 days before the Super Bowl. Mick Foley was in Wing Bowl 23 and, as you remember, was disqualified when attempting to sneak some wings into his fanny pack. Recently, the Philadelphia Flyers hockey fans have adopted Flair's "Woo!" as a rallying cry, and I think it's worked because they've won 10 in a row thus far heading into tonight. Also, from king to mayor, no, not another Jerry Lawler story. Booker T announcing on his podcast and subsequently tweeting that he intends to run for the city of Houston, or mayor for the city of Houston, when the term is up in 2019. He said in his podcast that he felt inspired by Rhino's unsuccessful run for the Michigan House of Representatives, but the election's over 2 years away. Why announce it now? Also, Zack Ryder suffering a left knee injury during the Tag Team Battle Royal on SmackDown Live. Looks like he is set to be getting knee surgery, as he tweeted out on Thursday, and he also noted he'd be missing the Star Wars Rogue One premiere, unfortunately. Also, Brock Lesnar has been suspended for 1 year and fined $250,000 by the Nevada Athletic Commission that was handed down over Lesnar failing 2 U.S. ADA tests, or United States Anti-Doping Association tests, or drug tests, essentially, prior to his UFC 200 fight against Mark Hunt. Also, WWE announcing that John Cena will return on December 27th edition of SmackDown Live from the Allstate Arena in Chicago. That same night, AJ Styles will defend the WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler. So there's all your highlights there. Going to come back, give the predictions certain to go wrong for Lucas and myself for Roadblock, end of the line, as the end of the line for me is only about 6.5 minutes away here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
We are a city full of fearless. You can feel it pedaling past history on an Indigo bike, among the myriad of cultural events, and with the determination that carries you up rocky steps. Because we're a city that began with a sense of freedom and never looked back. And for nearly 80 years, Independence Blue Cross has supported that spirit, providing strength and security with the card most accepted by top doctors and specialists. Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Hey, this is Dave Uram, news anchor here at 1490 WBCB. As a guy who's always around a radio station, the chances of me having holiday plans are, well, non-existent. But I hope all of you have an outstanding holiday season with a lot to look forward to in the new year. Thanks for listening to 1490 AM WBCB.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, December 17. On this date in 1995, the WWF held its In Your House 5 Seasons Beatings pay-per-view. In the main event, Bret Hart pinned the British Bulldog to retain the WWF Championship. On this date in 2000, WCW held its Starrcade pay-per-view. In the main event, Scott Steiner defeated Sid Vicious to retain the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2003, the NWA TNA held its weekly pay-per-view number 74. In the main event, Abyss, Joe E. Legend, and Kevin Northcutt defeated Raven, Julio De Niro, and CM Punk in a six-man tag team match. On this date in 2006, WWE held its Armageddon pay-per-view. In the main event, Batista and John Cena defeated Finlay and King Booker in a tag team match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, December 17. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you. No Lucas today because we're only on for another 3 minutes and 16 seconds. There's an Austin joke there somewhere, but don't have time to make it. But what I do have time for is Ed from Northeast Philly, who's on the line. You got 60 seconds, Ed. I am really up against it.
Did you hear about Jimmy Snuka?
I did. About the, I think we talked about it briefly a couple weeks ago about the terminal cancer, the stomach cancer, 6 months to live.
Yes.
I know, it is unfortunate.
I'll make my list for next week. Merry Christmas.
Yes, we will be on for the full hour for Christmas Eve next week. We'll have some special fun in there. I know that the primetime wrestling bit that I do from way back in '89 with Monsoon and Heenan and Piper, that's a classic, and we'll have that and who knows whatever kind of hilarity and insanity.
Merry Christmas.
But thank you so much, Ed, for chiming in. Sorry, like I said, I only got the 10 minutes, but Merry Christmas as well, and we'll chat next week.
All right.
All right, thank you so much for that. And I also have time to let you know about my friends over at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA, including their new hours, open Wednesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 11 p.m., Fridays from 3 to midnight, Saturdays from noon to midnight, might head over there right after this, and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Head on over on the weekend for the new Broken Bloody Marys until 2 o'clock. That sounds right up my alley right about now. Plus, you've heard me talk in the past about being part of the Irregulars Membership Club and all the perks associated with it. Well, now's your chance to sign up in 2017. Check out the Broken Goblet Brewing Facebook page for the link or sign up in person at the brewery. There's a max of 300 members, so sign up today. And back on tap for a limited time, Carl the Great, a 10.5% Russian Imperial Stout. Boy, does that pack a punch. It's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. All right, as I said, I've only got roughly a minute left here. It's amazing how we're just kind of flying quickly through here, and that, of course, means that it is time for that one lovable segment that everybody loves.
Birthdays!
There we go, the one contribution from Lucas in here. Only one birthday, and of course the Brucey bonus today. On this date in 1975, Nicholas Dinsmore was born. Yeah, you remember him, the former WWE Tag Team Champion, best known as Eugene. That's right, the special nephew, special in inverted commas, of Eric Bischoff. He turns 41 today. And finally, the Brucey bonus. On this date in 1936, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, also known as Pope Francis, was born. That's right, the current Pope of the Roman Catholic Church turns 80 today. So happy birthday to the Pope, happy birthday to Eugene, and thank you for tuning in for this ever so brief edition of Pro Wrestling Weekly. As coming up, we've got high school basketball. Chris Ermer with the call at Archbishop Wood High School as Pennsbury takes on Valley Forge Military. So until next week, we'll have a Christmas Eve show. For now, stay tuned for high school basketball.